Welcome to Rock Bottom. In the deep, quiet taverns of Decelerary Mountain, there lies a town named Rock Bottom, hundreds and hundreds of feet down below the earth, full of rich history and shimmering jewels. A mile up on the surface, a young human ranger named Adam walks through the mountain. Adventure and pursuit for knowledge burns in his heart. He has heard whispers and rumors of the bright minds that live below, but vast dangers await. Upon entering the mountain, he finds a guide, a tall, half-elf rogue named Isiah. He offers our young adventurer a drink in Rock Bottom, as well as parting with some wisdom, the answers Adam was looking for.
Sick. All right. Welcome to the first episode of RollForReflection, Episode 1, The Truth of Rock Bottom. I have my wonderful co-host with me here and friend, Isiah.
Hello.
In the hopes that he may be able to answer some of the questions that are being asked, as well as hearing what he has to say about certain topics. Welcome to the table, Isiah. It's an absolute pleasure to introduce you as the permanent co-host of the show.
Thank you. I'm very excited for it. I'm excited to see your costume next time we record. I'm going to give you shit about that every time until you get a costume.
Yeah.
I'm looking pretty cool.
You're looking pretty damn cool. I'm obviously a barbarian, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, dude.
Keep in mind, for all of the viewers, you can watch this show live on Twitch. That is where you're going to get the most raw, unedited footage. While in Twitch, if you were to type into the chat, there's a chance that we may read your question out loud, and we will answer the question, and we'll most likely have conversations with the people in chat as well. If you miss the stream, we do upload a edited and cut version on YouTube. However, Isiah.
That's my cue. If you missed the live, you can go to Patreon at RollForReflection for the full unedited video, live stream, whatever kind of thing. And then all the proceeds will go to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We made it our first goal to donate $500 this year. Pretty reasonable goal, you know.
I would agree.
I think
pretty reasonable. Two things that come with that. If we do reach the $500 goal by New Year's, has to be before the clock hits. Yeah. Before that, I will prepare a little surprise for all of the guests that we have. Even Isiah still doesn't know what that surprise is going to be. And for the viewers as well, it is going to be interactive for the entire cast, if you will. Another cool thing about subscribing to the Patreon is that we will also be live streaming on Patreon as well as Twitch. But the perks about watching us through Patreon is you are going to be able to call us. There is going to be a direct line, most likely used through Discord, and we will add you into the call so that you may either impart some wisdom onto us and our guests, or ask a question. So yeah, I think that would be pretty damn cool to have that.
The entire time you were talking, I was trying not to cough. So yeah.
It's like that guy that's like, oh, military combat gear, blah blah blah, and they're complaining about Velcro being on like fucking everything. And they're like, Velcro is so loud if you're trying to be tactical. And the guy's like, you just got to do this. And he goes, ah! And he rips it and like screams at the same time. So but honestly, man, we've talked about it before recording and all that, but this is a little nerve-wracking for me, at least, to be sharing my feelings and my emotions and how shut up Siri and how I process a lot of these things that are going on in the world. What do you think? Is it a little intimidating for you as well to be sharing just with the public what you think?
No, it's not as bad for me. I'm kind of used to sharing my deepest, darkest thoughts with strangers. Because on and off for years now, I've done stand-up comedy, like since I was like 17. So I've just said the craziest shit in front of crowds of people for a laugh. So it's not as intimidating, but it does add a little bit of like stakes when it's in a more serious setting like this. I say serious setting as I'm dressed as a D&D guy.
Yeah.
No, but like speaking as honestly as we can about certain stuff, it is pretty intimidating. But we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through
Absolutely. Totally.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is though? Because for men and women, mostly in our age, maybe in the millennial generation as well, it is sometimes so hard to just get up and talk, or get up and speak in front of a room of 5 people or 10 people, let alone, this shit is going to be on the internet for fucking ever, because that's how the internet works. Why do you think that is so scary to the people of our generation, and one behind and one in front?
To just talk about this stuff in general, just like I
guess more of, why do you think there's so much anxiety surrounded by it in these specific generations and not in others?
With how our generation grew up with the internet, I feel like we've made a lot of progress in terms of sharing our opinions and getting a lot of different perspectives from, people in different parts of the world, or, even parts of the like state that you're in, or country that you're in. Like if my dad was growing up and he just kind of was in his town with his friends and his family, and there's like a certain culture around mental health and like talking about like your feelings and what you think about certain things, it's going to be kind of a closed off view of it. So if you try to stray away from that, you're going to be the odd one out,
Yeah. Plus, to
that
jump into what you're saying really quick, you brought up our exposure to the internet at a very early age, and I have to totally agree with you, because let's not forget that us at a very young age were taught that bullies are very, very real, specifically on the internet, and it doesn't matter if you have 0 subscribers, 10, 50, a million, a couple million. We saw it firsthand, with a couple of older YouTubers that are no longer really a part of the scene anymore, but like with iDubbbz and with that one fucking guy, Leafy is here. Yeah, yeah.
Oh god.
Like with
I was just talking about Leafy the other day.
Yeah, he's
I watched
fuck now.
Yeah, I watched him growing up just because I wanted to see like other videos that was going on, like other things on the internet that people were talking about. Yeah. And then I think one day I grew up and I was like, he's kind of a douche. And then like that was just dick for a while. Oh god! Every time someone brings up his name, I go, ugh.
But I remember seeing a video by Leafy, and it was of this dude with like 1,000 subscribers, and he was just cooking or something like that, and Leafy with his couple millions was just dogging on this dude. And I remember sitting there thinking to myself, I think I was like maybe 15 at the time. I was like, wow, that could be me. If I say this certain thing in the YouTube comment section, or if I say this certain thing on Instagram, or if I say this certain thing out loud in a group full of people or a room full of people, what could happen? I feel like a lot of the exposure to the internet, like you said, is a extremely huge part of why that anxiety is built around sharing opinions.
Yeah. Or just not even sorry. Not even an opinion in general, but just putting yourself out there on the internet for entertainment purposes, education purposes, whatever video you're about to make, it can either go very well for you or completely ruin your image. And it's so brutal. The thing I'm thinking of right now is the one girl she's just some kid, clearly just some kid, and she's like putting on makeup, and she's like, get ready with me to go hang out with Fine Shite, and then she does like the little scream thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly. She goes like, what? Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
When I first saw it, I was like, oh god, that's cringy, but at the same time, she's a kid, and you can just brush that off as, oh, she was just trying to make a goofy, funny video, right? And then so many people just bullied the shit out of this girl, and I was
grown
like,
adults, by the way. Grown adults bullying.
Only grown adults, yeah. There was a dude that bought, like, fake teeth to look like her teeth, and then there's, like, he was in the whole outfit. I'm like, come on. You know, like, that's a bit much.
That's kind of a product of what we've been consuming, though. The cycle hasn't really stopped of bullying other people gets a lot of clicks on the internet.
Yeah.
That's kind of just how it is.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you do stand-up and all that. That's actually something that I've never known about you before. I've known you for how many years? Give or take 4?
Oh, 2 or 3, I think, right? When did we meet?
3.
It was at Justin's New Year's party. I think about 2 or 3.
Yeah. I never knew that you did stand-up until literally quite recently. And I always thought it so interesting. I only have one friend that does stand-up, and their humor was always really crude and really really brass tacks and crass to be around. And I always thought, wow, that guy must be a really big asshole, in person. And then, no, he's one of the nicest people I know. And he is so happy to be able to just tell these jokes that he may not even believe, but it's something that he enjoys doing. What do you enjoy the most out of doing the stand-up?
About just the experience of it?
Yeah.
I've talked about this before, about how it's not necessarily like there's a lot of different parts I do enjoy. I really love writing. I have a whole journal of just joke ideas, whole pages of, if I want to pick a topic, let's just say I pick I want to write jokes about dogs, I'll just word vomit everything that comes to mind when I think of dogs, and I just write it all down. Like leashes, going for walks, pissing on fire hydrants, whatever. And then I like try to like, what's funny about, not necessarily what's funny. I feel like when you look for what's funny, you're not going to find it. But what bothers you about certain topics, what makes you happy about certain topics, what scares you about certain topics, and then it just kind of, it feels like solving a puzzle, writing a joke. I love the process of writing. I love, running it by my friends and seeing how they view it. But the main kind of driving factor for me and a lot of other comedians is just that pure dopamine rush of getting a room full of strangers that have never met you to laugh at some stupid shit you wrote down like a week ago. That is really like, a lot of not all, but a lot of comedians are very fucked up, very mentally ill. So getting that validation from strangers has been like a driving force for any comic. And it is about the art too, of course. Like it's like mainly about like the art of stand up and your love for stand up and just the process of joke writing, and then you know your favorite comedians, you just want to be like them. But I think that like the feeling of being able to make people laugh is very reassuring.
It almost feels like even when I'm able to do that, just when I'm hanging out with the guys or something like that, it feels like there are some people in the world that don't make jokes to make other people laugh, but they make jokes to prove that they are funny and to prove that they are capable of being funny. And I feel like it's so fake and it's so disgusting. But when you are just having fun and you say something that just comes from the middle of your brain out of nowhere and you make a room full of people laugh, it is exactly like what you said. It's that dopamine rush. So I agree 100%.
I wanted to backtrack on something you were talking about earlier. You're like, oh, I have this friend who like really crass, really does he have like darker humor, like kind of like a mean-spirited? It's so funny that a lot of those guys that have like the really dark, fucked up sense of humor are always the nicest. But I have met so many comics, and obviously I won't name names, but a lot of them that have like the nice guy shtick are fucking assholes when you go to talk to them. It's so annoying because like this one guy goes up and he'll try to be like wholesome. He's like, I'm just the nerdy, whatever guy, and I he'll just like, he won't swear. He's very clean cut. Just he's funny. Like he's a good joke teller, joke writer.
Yeah.
He just kind of got that personality where he wants to be for all audiences. Then you go talk to him after the thing, like, hey, that was really funny. You did a good job. I just wanted to say hi and introduce myself. Yeah, whatever, man. Mm-hmm.
No fucking way, dude.
Blowing up. I'm like, okay, and then like I'll try, and it's like I'm not entitled to anybody, but like when you are in a small like group of comedians, I follow this group called Dayton Comics, and it's just like a whole group of just promoting like open mics or promoting shows, whatever. When it's a tight knit community and you just you kind of know everybody in the scene, it just really sucks when you're like, hey, what's up? You try to send a friend request and they just don't accept it, or they will like openly talk shit about other comics like working on their material. It's like, don't do the nice guy thing. That's so annoying. Like,
yeah,
innocent and pure. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Like, appearances are so deceiving.
Mm-hmm.
And those people are what we call chameleons. Absolutely, snakes, if you will.
Yeah.
But all of this kind of leads into the first question that we were emailed in. By the way, if you want to email us a question, if you don't catch us on Twitch, Patreon, or YouTube, we will look at the YouTube comments for questions. If all else fails, you can email at RollForReflection@gmail.com. I will read all of them. I can't guarantee that your question will be asked. If I do pick your question, it may not be asked in the next session, but it will be asked eventually. But that does not go for all questions. First question that I wanted to bring up in the theme of rock bottom. When do you realize when you need help? I I was
That's-
scrolling through some of these emails that were sent to me, and I was sitting here like, oh, dude, this is gonna be so awesome. Like, we're gonna have D&D styled shit. We're gonna be in our costumes, and I'm gonna edit it so that there's medieval music playing in the background, like there is right now, and it's gonna be so cool that people are gonna get to talk about their experiences. And it's like, when do you realize that you need help? And I just sat there and I looked at it for a second, and I was like, oh fuck.
That's a good question.
But
That's
low-key,
brutal.
it's exactly what we signed up for.
Yeah, dude. Do you want to go first, or?
I'll share my thoughts. When do you realize you need help? If you
Me.
have to, no. If you have to ask,
Mhm.
that's when you should probably go seek help. If you have to ask somebody, I'm feeling this way and I don't know how far I have to go until I have to go ask for help. You don't have to go any distance at all. If something isn't right, if something isn't clicking the way that it's supposed to or the way that you think it should go, yeah, definitely get help. And help, when I was struggling with my mental issues, I thought that get help meant go to a fucking psychiatrist right now, go to a therapist and let them divulge all of your inner secrets and everything that you are insecure about, and let them just dissect you so that they can put you on medication. That is not what get help means. That is probably the most extreme route that you could take. Call a buddy. Call your parents. If your parents aren't in the picture, call anybody that you trust. And yeah, I think that if you have to ask, you should probably go.
Yeah.
What do you
Good
think,
question,
buddy?
dude. So, for me, it's when the question of if doesn't exist anymore, and when the question becomes when, that is the indicator for me. Like, I've been having a rough time lately. So that question threw me off so hard that
Yeah.
it just kind of brings up a lot of stuff. I've just been having a real tough time lately, and I feel like I've just been sinking and sinking and sinking. So recently, I was visiting my parents, and I was walking back, on the front porch. I was going to go back to my car and go home, and my mom's just sitting there. Okay, well, have a good day. I love you, whatever. And I can't leave. Like, I just can't bring myself to go back to my car. I just started breaking down. I'm like, I don't, I just wanted to, I don't know exactly how to say it. I don't know what I should say or what I want it to, like, how I should word it or anything. But I've seriously just been having the worst time. I feel like I can't function like I used to. I feel like every day is a hyperventilating, like, nightmare, just going through life, and I feel like I'm so close to that edge, like it's a lot of, self-harm ideation, a lot of, if it's not like the violent self-harm, it's more of like, I just feel like I can't be an adult, I guess. Like, I can't, like, keeping track of money, keeping track of chores, and no one wants to go to work, but when it's, like, so bad where you're like, I feel like I physically can't get out of bed to go anywhere or do anything. And I've just been struggling so much lately that I usually don't talk about these kind of things with my parents, but I just, like, my thoughts have been so bad lately where I just broke down to them. I'm like, I need help. If I'm not going to do it for myself, so I'm begging you guys to tell me to go to a doctor, to tell me to call someone, set up a situation, like set up an appointment, get me on meds, something. Because it's like, if you can't help yourself, you should reach out to the people that love you, that will help you help yourself. You know, I don't want anybody to like do it for me, but I do want the people in my life that love me to pick me in the general direction of where I need to go. That's a good question. I can't get over that. That is a really good question.
That's the whole point of help. Is that if you fall down, people aren't gonna pick you up and carry you the whole way to the goal. They're gonna help you to your feet and shove you in the right direction. That is what help should be. It's a 50-50 race. Half of it is getting back up on your feet, and the other half is running like hell in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking stinger of a question, dude. I saw that and I was like, holy man. It was
so
it was a deep one.
You get a gold star, whoever asked that.
Yeah. I've been leaving names anonymous on the emails, but if you would like your name to be read, just go ahead and annotate it in the email. Lately, there have been this YouTube ad that's been playing. YouTube, I got an issue. Stop putting depressing shit in my ads, all right? It's pissing me off. But there's these two people sitting down, and this lady asks this man, she's like, what do you think about men not wanting to ask for professional help mentally? And he's like, well, for one, it's egotistical. And I was waiting for the skip button, and I heard that, and I did like the slow turn to look at my monitor, and I'm like, what did he just say? He's like, it's egotistical for somebody to not ask for help. Your ego is getting in the way of your health. And I was like, all right, you know what? That kind of makes sense. It does make sense.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing with men in particular. Is don't let your ego and your pride get in the way of your health.
Yeah.
Trust me, buddy. Everybody goes through something. Not everybody asks for help. And not everybody needs it. But the people that do need it and they don't ask for help, they dig deeper into a hole and they're stuck. Some get out and some don't.
Yeah.
Bypass that ego and that pride and ask. These YouTube ads, man, they're listening to me rehearsing for this podcast and all that. Like, oh, this dude is, we're gonna get him.
My YouTube ads are all just like Cheez-It ads and new iPhone ads or whatever. I don't know.
the pretzel bacon burger from Wendy's.
Stop. Stop it right now, dude.
We had a conversation about this yesterday about how much we love Wendy's, and specifically the pretzel burgers from Wendy's.
I had Wendy's today.
Did you? What'd you have?
Dude, shit. A number 8 combo, spicy. It was beautiful. Oh, dude, I love spicy shit so much. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Hell yeah.
But it was so good. I'm reminiscing on the meal I had a few hours ago.
we were talking about it yesterday about how there's no they don't have the pretzel burgers at your Wendy's anymore, but they did where I was previously stationed. And yeah, dude, I was getting those Asiago pretzel burgers like every fucking week.
Devastating news.
Yeah.
They were so good, dude. So, quick Wendy's rant, then we'll go back to the serious stuff.
Okay.
The Asiago, perfect. Did you ever have the chicken parm sandwich from there, where they had like the marinara and like the not provolone, some sort of.
Had it.
Dude, I miss it. I'm a big chicken parm guy.
Can I be honest with you?
Dude. What? Yeah?
It tasted like somebody got chicken parm, a like freezer, microwave dinner, chicken parm, and then they stuck it in the microwave for about 20 minutes. It was not good when I tried it.
honest
You know,
with
in
you,
like high school or middle school when it's Tabasco stick day, and you get those little fucking breadsticks, and they give you that shitty ass watered down little marinara sauce. That's what it fucking tasted like. It tasted like cardboard fucking Tabasco sticks. Am I saying that right? It's Tabasco, no?
I think so.
I don't know. I haven't been in middle school for
I
like
know
a
you're
really
talking
long
about
time. I don't know. It did not taste good.
You don't do, but the one that I got, I liked it a lot. I'm also just a big chicken parm guy, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what. I'm going to talk about this the entire podcast. Let's move away from Wendy's.
We'll come back to it later because there's still some shit I want to talk about Wendy's.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Next question. We're probably only going to have about 2 more questions after this, so we're going to probably rant and space some of these out so that we can just hit a decent time limit. Why does procrastination rule my life? Isaiah and I have had talks about procrastination in the past in our personal time, and procrastination it's such an evil disease, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
it's something that will grab a hold of you and it will not let go. Within the procrastination, you are stuck in an endless cycle of, oh, I'll do it later. Well, now it's too late to do it, so now I'm depressed that I didn't get this thing done. And now I'm so depressed that I'm just going to bed rot and eat Asiago chicken pretzel sandwiches all day. And I need to clean up all these Asiago chicken pretzel sandwich boxes and wrappers and moldy fucking bread and lettuce off from my floor in my bed. But I'll do it later. Honestly, I'm really tired right now. Oh, well, I woke up and now everything's moldy and it smells. And it's a constant circle. And it is so hard to break free of procrastination. One of the small ways that I have found to break out of procrastination, or at least for a little bit, is there will be these sudden moments of energy that I get. Very rare, few and far in between, but I do get them. And I get up and I'm like, okay, I need to get this done right now, because if I don't do it now, it's not going to get done for the next week. And I just grab it and I go. And then sometimes there's this grueling process of I'm sitting in my chair playing World of Warcraft, and I look over and I see bags and boxes and shit like that next to my desk, and I'm like, I really don't want to do that. My brain makes me think that doing this will like kill me, pretty much. Like, it is going to take so much effort to go and put these bags and boxes in the dumpster, and then I'm going to come back up and I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do, and I'm just going to have to lay down, blah blah blah. And then I get up and I do it, and then I'm on my way back up the stairs. I'm like, oh, this fucking sucks. And I get into my room and I'm like, oh wow, it's clean in here. I can sit down, I can relax. And there's those few moments of, I said this earlier, but I will say it again. Sometimes you just have to pull up your big boy pants and just get the job done. Sometimes you just have to suck it up and do it, because those little bursts of energy and those inspirations for cleaning aren't always going to come your way. Procrastination will rule your life if you let it.
Yeah. And just starting off small with no matter, whatever the task is. For me, it's dishes. I hate dishes. I've been struggling with that forever.
Yeah, me too.
But
dishes.
You gotta treat it almost like a video game. You start off with all the small, lower tier, like enemies and everything. So I'm an artist. I have in front of me my little art studio table thing right here. Right now my markers are a mess. So to start off small with something that I'm familiar with and enjoy doing, I'll organize all like the colors of my markers and get those organized. I'll clean up the papers on my desk. I'll put everything where it needs to be in a familiar place that I enjoy doing. Like, I enjoy cleaning up my work desk because I enjoy art a lot. So I'll do that. I'll get rid of some of the bigger distractions, like my cat boxes. If the cat boxes are, full, they're starting to get full, and the smell's starting to get overwhelming, and the whole house smells, and then that puts me in a bad mood. I go, oh, I feel gross. My house just is gross, and I just feel shitty. It's going to be hard to be productive, so I'll get rid of that obstacle. It's just working your way up to the big task that you don't want to do. Getting that momentum is really important. And then customizing your experience is very important in every aspect of life, because it is your life, and it's really hard to break out of the mindset of I need to do things in a certain way that was taught to me by like a parental figure or society or whatever. It is your life, it is your brain, it is your body in the way that you function. Like, if you need to clean a certain way, make it to where you can thrive in the environment. Like, growing up, my family would always play oldies music, like from the 50s. We would blast oldies music, and then we would just go around the house and clean everything. We'd get specific chores assigned to us, and then we would do them. I'm living alone, so what I do to start off, like if I spend a whole day cleaning, I'll pick a room in my house and just start from there. Like, I'll start in the living room. I'll organize couch cushions, remotes, my little coffee table in the middle of the room. Then I'll move into my art room, and then the kitchen, and then the back room. I'll just go whatever I prioritize first and last. You just got to customize the experience. You got to play the music you want to play, or play nothing if you don't want to be distracted by loud noises. Make sure you're hydrated. If you want to snack while you eat, that's fine. Something I'll preach about no matter what topic it is. Just, this is your life, and you have to customize it to fit whatever makes you comfortable. And hopefully that doesn't mess up anyone else's routine. Try to be mindful of other people's experiences too. But when it is something that is no harm, no foul, fully make it to where you are comfortable doing the things that you need to do. Yeah. I'm ranting so long. I'm so sorry.
No. That's like the whole point.
I get passionate about this kind of stuff.
No, I get that 100%.
Yeah.
I can't help but express how important it is for, just like what you said, it's your life. You have to take control of it. I think it was Theo Vaughn on his podcast where somebody says, you can't have change without change. You can't expect your life to start getting better just magically if you don't do something about it. And that's the harsh reality of today's world. Is nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to swoop in and just fix everything and make your problems go away. That new boyfriend isn't, that new girlfriend isn't, that guy that you think is going to marry you. He is not going to solve all of your problems, or she is not going to solve all of your problems. Your parents have their own things that they're dealing with. They're not going to come back and they're not going to fix everything for you. Right. And that's the harsh reality of it. That's something that even I had to deal with, and I had to recognize and be like, wow, I am truly on my own at this point. Yeah. And the only thing that I can do is take care of myself and expect nothing from anybody but everything from myself.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't expect some things from people, but that's diving into a completely, like, different topic than what we're on right now.
Right. And you just mean, like, as a whole, no one's going to save you, but they can, like we were talking about earlier, people that love you will help you, but ultimately, you have to be that beacon of hope for yourself, you know?
Let me reiterate really quick, because I can understand how that might have sounded wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna come in and solve all of your problems for you. Like
there
I
you
said,
go.
they'll pick you up and they can push you in the right direction.
Right.
But they're not going to fix everything just because it doesn't happen, you know?
Right.
Yeesh.
What?
I like halfway through, I was like, wow, that did sound kind of... But in all fairness, you know, low key, like.
No, I know what you mean.
Any further comments on procrastination or how to get over it or how to cope with it?
I don't want to say all this stuff and give the impression that we have it all figured out. Like it's still something I struggle with. I still have this instinct right now. Like,
oh wait, there we go. Those have been there for 2 weeks. Those boxes.
Like it's just you know, it's a learning experience, and then eventually when you keep trying to figure out what works best for you, because everyone's brain, everyone's thought patterns and what they're comfortable with is so unique to them. It's insane. Like I've learned stuff outside of school. I was a terrible student because I just didn't care, and I felt like I wasn't made for school, you know. But getting out of high school and then like just experiencing life and then learning the things that I actually wanted to learn and push myself to learn. You figure out a way and a like a process of how to do things that work best for you. So yeah, like that's just what I want to say before we move on to the next thing is we don't have it figured out either. This is just like take it with a grain of salt how we do things when it comes to all these topics really. But yeah, that's my shtick. Your needs, you know, and you have to be accommodated. I don't want to just say that and be like, well, yeah, it's all about you. You have to accommodate to their needs and their wants and desires and all that. Relationships are so hard, not just romantically, but with what? Are you okay?
I get so fucking frustrated because you brought something up. They need to accommodate to my needs and I need to accommodate to their needs, blah, blah, blah. And I completely fucking agree with that. That's what a relationship is. I need this person to be able to take care of me at my lowest point when we're fucking 80. Just as we are right now when we're in our 20s. And I see some of these people dating and they're like, oh, it's a fucking miracle that you're with me. It's this, it's that. You should be lucky. Shut the fuck up. Who are you?
Yeah.
That shit makes me so angry. The amount of ego that comes into that. What are you even dating for?
Dude, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm the best partner in the world. I've definitely have my flaws. And this last relationship, a lot of it was on me. But when you love someone so much and you know you have this excitement for a relationship and for a person, you try to not see the red flags, you try to not see their flaws and everything. When some of the women that I've dated that have told me their horror stories of other dudes treating them like subhuman garbage, it makes me feel just a little bit better because I'm like, yeah, I had this flaw and this flaw, but holy shit, I treated them like a person. I truly
didn't like fucking beat them and drag them through the mud like this guy.
That's not even like that's like a pretty vanilla thing compared to some of the shit I've heard from my past partners.
I was trying to keep it vanilla for the stream.
Yeah, right. But like, there's just shit that people will tell, or like friends will tell me that of their past partners that like, yeah, my ex did this, and you're like, I didn't even know you could do that. Like,
yeah,
how are you thinking that?
There have been certain exes in my life that I am ashamed slightly to admit it, but I thrive off of companionship. I don't have to be in a relationship with somebody 365 days out of the year. That's not what I mean. But I thrive off of somebody being in love with me. That is genuinely what makes me the happiest, is knowing that somebody is in love with me. And it's very unhealthy. It's a very unhealthy way for me to live. But
yeah,
my past relationships fucked me up so bad that even now in my current relationship, I still do this thing to where I see that she's upset, and I'm like a fucking spider. I'm like, what's wrong? Is everything okay? Did I do something wrong? What's wrong? And you know, she did something, and she's like, God damn it! And I'm like, oh no, what did I do? And you know, I'm so fucking on edge all the goddamn time about shit that doesn't pertain to me whatsoever. But I am so obsessed with the idea of she's in love with me, and I need that in my life. Now I can say I have gotten a lot better because of the person that I'm with, the person that I'm in a relationship with. They have made the perspective more broad, and they have brought in a new way of looking at it for me. But those tendencies still arise of where I'm like, oh no, she's mad. It's my fault. I didn't do anything, but it's my fault. You know?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that it just makes me so heated, because I know for a fucking fact that those egotistical people who are the manipulators in the relationship, who are saying you're lucky to be with me and that you should be grateful that you're with me, I know for a fact that their partners are acting just like that in the relationship.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I went off on a big old fucking rant right there.
No, I'm glad you said that. See, this first episode, I'm already like learning more about you, because I have that same thought pattern of when someone is upset, it is instantly my fault. I did something wrong. I'm a horrible person. They haven't even said what's wrong yet. They could be just having a bad time with external stuff, and I'm just like, no, it's clearly me. I'm clearly the problem.
Your card got declined. I'm sorry I didn't send you my whole paycheck. You know, it's...
That's not even an exaggeration, though. I swear, like...
Exactly, that's how it is.
That's so funny, because it's that's the importance of this kind of podcast. Is I didn't know you felt that way, and I don't know a lot of people that do feel that way about partners and relationships and stuff like that. But another thing you touched on is like the egotistical, like, you're lucky to be with me. That is such an alien concept to me. Every single person I've been with, I've had this thing about me where I'm like, I hope they don't fucking leave. Like, I hope.
Me too.
This in the back of my head. And I'm so brutally insecure, and I've also been on social media too long to where being insecure as a man is, I don't want to say as a man, I don't want to be an Andrew Tate podcast, whatever. But being insecure is like a death sentence nowadays. It's like, oh, he's insecure, and then you get a reputation of, he's just insecure.
Sorry to interrupt you, but let's be honest. It goes both ways with men and women. 100%. It goes both ways.
Yeah, I think I've just heard too much of that. Like if there's, dude, I bet I could put like gambling bets on dudes that ex-girlfriends, I knew they were gonna fuck immediately after we broke up. Like, I could put money, or like, I sensed the sexual tension between her and her guy friend. And it's not every, I don't want to be, again, I don't want to be insecure. I don't want to be like, oh, every guy friend wants to fuck my girlfriend. But the girl I was with before this most recent one, she had this guy friend that I just knew. And I wasn't even upset about it because I just knew what was going to happen. And I saw it coming. Like, damn near immediately.
Sorry to interrupt you right before the climax of your story. Ladies.
No, you're okay.
And gentlemen. Mostly ladies. We can fucking tell. It doesn't take some superhero to know what is going on.
Yeah.
Guys can read other guys the best. Can guys read women? 99% of the time, fuck no. It's really hard.
Yeah.
But can guys read guys? Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm not saying that every guy's right.
Yeah. Because there are a lot of dudes, like, you're not allowed to have guy friends. That's not what I'm saying at all. Like, a lot of the been with mostly have, like, guy friends in their friend group. That's fine with, but there's just a few. There's the ones you just know. You just know as a dude, your spider senses go off, and you're like, listen, I know the whole, like, you don't have to worry about him and whatever, because I've also been that guy. You know, I'm not gonna say, like, I've also been the...
me too.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's you know, it's whatever, but, like...
Your guy friend just suddenly cares so much about your relationship. And your guy friend just suddenly is like, well, it's kind of weird that they would say that. It's almost like they disrespected you. It's almost like they're treating you this type of way because they feel like they're better than you. And then you sit there and you're like, you know what? Maybe you're right. And he's like, we've been friends for a while. I would never. You know, it's manipulation at its finest level.
Oh my god!
And I hate to talk shit on the male species because I'm one of them. They do that shit a lot. We do that shit a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to call myself out and say that I do it. I try my absolute best to stay genuine 100% of the time.
Yeah. It's just how it is. But you know, I'm not the relationship I'm talking about. I'm not even mad at the dude at all. Like, I'm really not, because I'm like, whatever. Because I broke off the relationship, whatever. At the end of it, it's just so funny. Like, I should have put fucking money on that. I should have put a 20 on that.
Yeah.
It's so goofy. Anyway, going back to it.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, just like being insecure is just, I am insecure, and I kind of own that. I try to keep it to a level where I'm not toxic with it. Like, you can't hang out with them and you can't hang out, but I do want to bring it up. Like, I do want, like, hey, I noticed this, or hey, you know, you're receptive to random people flirting with you, like, whether it be on the internet or in person. Like, I just want to talk about it. And it's like, and it could be nothing. Like, it could be me overthinking, but to get that reassurance, to get the answers you're looking for, you have to ask. And I've always been the person that was afraid to ask because of past experiences of, well, you're just insecure, you're overthinking it, you whatever. And then I feel like when you bring up your insecurities, no matter what it is, and they immediately get hostile instead of just giving you the reassurance that you deserve, then that's your answer. You know what I mean?
I was waiting for you to say it.
Yeah.
I was always so scared to talk about my insecurities because I knew there was a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
And I knew that if it came back hostile and defensive and then being turned around on me, I knew that something was up.
Yeah.
And I was right. Every single time that there was hostility and defensiveness and it getting thrown in my face, it's deflection. It's 100% deflection of them knowing that they're doing something wrong.
as someone who overthinks a lot, and my brain is very scrambled and fucked up, intuition's not always wrong. You know, like sometimes you can't just tell, and not even just with stuff like that, but it's like, you know, I sense a change in attitude towards me. Like, you're not as excited to see me anymore. You don't talk to me the same way that you used to talk. And I know, like, when you first start off in a relationship, you can get very excited at first. You can get very overjoyed, and the rose-colored glasses are on for a while. But there is
the honeymoon months.
Oh yeah, but there is a certain shift of energy where you just know something. You're like, can we talk about it? And then, depending on how emotionally intelligent your partner is, if they shut it down, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you even mean? I don't know. Like, that is so brutal, because it's like, if you would have just said, no, like, here's how I'm feeling, here's, you know, my thought process, and here's why I act the way I do, that can be reassuring. And not everyone is going to just accept that, because I'm also, my anxiety is bad. Sometimes people will tell me, no, here's how things are, calmly, and I'll still have that aching feeling where I'm like, okay, I'll try to believe you. But if someone just shuts down your shit immediately, that's when you have to, like, pull back a little bit and really examine what's going on.
Here's a little bit of advice from your local dungeon master. I've been writing Tragedies of Love for 8 years in D&D, and I've been through many myself. A piece of a relationship advice for the men and women out there: if you come to your partner with a problem, and they can't answer you straight, and they throw it back in your face, and you know they're being defensive and they're deflecting, run. Get the fuck out of that relationship. And it's not even like a run, you know, the whole joke thing. I'm being 100% dead ass serious. Get out of that relationship as soon as possible. And there's going to be those people that say, oh, well, it's just a one-time thing, or this can be managed. I'm not going to run away because of one problem. I'm telling you, they don't have the respect to tell you the truth. They don't even have the respect to hear you out. If your partner doesn't respect you, they don't trust you, they don't love you, and they don't respect you enough to not cheat, not run around, not disrespect you. They do not respect you in the slightest. And respect comes with a lot of steps. And a lot of things are tied in with respect. Get the fuck out of the relationship. If you've been dating for a while, you cannot build that respect. It just doesn't happen. Get out. Little advice from your local DM over here. There was this one question on here. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Very, very simple question. And you and I have talked about this question before. What is some advice that changed your life? I am going to go first. In the theme of D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, I will call myself out for this because I know a lot of my current party playing in my campaign listen to this, and I stole this line from a past DM, the very first DM that I played with, and I was very troubled at a younger age, and I used Dungeons and Dragons, like many people, as an escape from reality. And I created a character that was a carbon copy of me and what I was feeling and what I was going through. And there was a specific point within the campaign to where my character was scared to make change. And they were scared to change the way that they think about something, to change the way that they handle these things, because they're scared of what could come after, and they're scared of failing. And he said to me, you have to have courage. He says, courage is not being fearless, but facing your fear. even if you are crying and shaking, you have the strength to push forward and accomplish what you could not the day before.
Yeah.
And I carried that through so many aspects of my life after that, and I always remembered to have courage. And it meant so much more to me that this guy, random dude, was just saying this to me. And I could have easily opened a dictionary and looked up the word courage and gotten the exact same definition. But it meant something. Having courage means that you are able to step past that fear and look change in the face and say, I'm ready for whatever you throw at me. Yeah. My advice that I'm giving out, because that's the advice that was given to me, is have the courage to change. What about you, buddy?
So, I've told you this story before, but this is one of my favorite anecdotes for my life. When I was about 12, 13, me and my family went on a Carnival cruise, and there was a little teen group just for the random assorted teenagers on the ship, and we would run around the ship, play games, do activities, watch movies, stuff like that. And I became friends with this guy called Devin, and he was fun. We talked about comic books and just funny, just normal kid shit, right? Mm-hmm. It was the last night on the ship, and the entire time I'm on this ship, I had a crush on one of the girls in the teen group. And I'm telling him about it. I'm like, yeah, I just don't really see the point. I don't, we might not never see each other again, but I just really do think she's pretty, and didn't have a lot of experience with girls at the time. I was like, I don't know. I kind of want to say something, but at the same time, I don't think I should, blah, blah, blah. This 13-year-old, this kid, looks at me, and he goes, you should do it now, because tomorrow we will all just be memories. And that shit is ingrained in my head. It's just it's so true. You miss opportunities because you're afraid. You miss opportunities because of all these outcomes that might happen, and you'll blink and it'll all be over. That's another piece of advice my dad always said was, we have such a limited time on Earth, and no matter if you live to 100 years old, it will be so short. It will go by so fast. So you have to live life with that almost kind of urgency, right? But the way this kid put it just stayed with me for so long, and I've tried to keep that mentality as best I can, because it's so disturbingly true. Tomorrow, all the people that you love that are going to have an impact on your life, or might not have an impact at all, if you don't take that risk of finding something like with that girl, I didn't know where I was going to go with that, but she was just some random girl on a cruise ship, but I did get the experience of, okay, well, I'll go ask her. And I asked her, and she was like, oh, well, no. And I was like, oh, okay. But at least but my little 13-year-old self didn't spend the next few weeks going, oh, I wonder what she would have said. I wonder if there was some sort of, chance at some Carnival cruise weekend girlfriend kind of, I don't know. Yeah. It's such a silly thing to think about.
A cruise fling.
A cruise fling. But I wouldn't have had that experience if he didn't say that to me. And then I still try to put that into practice every chance I get. It's something that has been rattling around in my brain for years now.
Yeah. And that's it's crazy how wisdom can come from the strangest mouths and the most random people. And to reiterate once again for the fifth time on this podcast, that is one of the reasons why we started. Is because you never know when you just decided to click on a stream one day and a thing that two dudes in costumes say can change the outlook on your life. And you never know when you're hosting a podcast dressed up in costumes and some random dude just sends you an email, and random person types in the chat, and now you're changed on the way you think about things. It's interesting how deep humans can connect on a level that we never knew we could connect on, and when we're complete strangers as well. Yeah. Wow. What a first fucking session, dude.
Dude, this is so fun. I love this a lot.
I know. I'm so excited to record more of these. It's gonna be a blast.
Dude, this feels just like therapy, just with one of my best buddies. Like,
yeah.
And I get addicted to therapy almost. Like, when I have a really good therapist like connection, I just can't wait until the next session where I'm like, I have so much fucked up shit in my head, I need to get it out and like kind of word vomit everything.
Yeah.
This has been so fun, and I can't wait to do the next episode. These questions were awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I'm really excited, but also scared to see the next volley of questions that come through.
Dude, make them as deep and personal and juicy as possible, because I love talking about that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So
for the people on YouTube, usually these will be uploaded the day after the stream. For the people on Patreon, it will be uploaded the same day as the stream on Twitch. For all the people on Twitch, I am currently in South Korea. So right now, at the time of us, when we did our stream, it was like 10 a.m. for me and 9 p.m. for you?
Yeah.
So usually around 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central time, 5 p.m. Mountain time, you can catch the streams. If you're in South Korea, 7 a.m. is when I will be hopping on the stream, hiked up on coffee and Red Bull, or a mix of the two, and ready to get in my feels. But
yeah,
it really is so much fun to sit here and talk about these things. If you weren't at the stream, we actually had quite a few people pop into the stream. We did promote it quite well. But if you would like to,
that was really fun.
Yeah,
it was really.
Yeah. But if you would like to keep in touch on our socials, twitch.tv/RollForReflection, youtube.com/RollForReflection, Patreon /RollForReflection, and then on TikTok it is RollForReflection Official. TikTok is where we're going to be posting a lot of clips of stuff, maybe sneak peeks of what you can see in the Patreon, and maybe some skits that we come up with, whatever happens. But yeah, it really is so much fun to make this. Wanted to say, even if you're not here to stay and you just pop by, I know that we are really happy that the universe allowed you to stop by just for a little bit and sit and listen to us rant about Wendy's pretzel bacon burgers and relationships and procrastination and whatever else we talked about during this.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody, for watching. Hope to see you on any of the platforms. Be sure to send in some questions, drop a follow, and you're always welcome at our table.
Hell yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.